Everyone. I am going live on multiple platforms. So if you see me turning to my left and turning to my right, I am not ignoring anyone. What I am doing is I am making sure that I am engaging both audiences from a Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, right? So I'm out here. Shout out to Tamika Harris Live for being one of the first people to join the live. And if you are live, you are in person, just type live in the comments. However, if you are catching me on the replay, guess what? I'm going to show you some love as well. Just type in the comments replay. And I will know that you are catching the replay. So if you have been following me at all, you will know that in the last couple of weeks, I had shared some very exciting news. Let me back up for a second because all y'all might not know who I am, right? Like you jumped on my live and I appreciate you, right? So my name is Quinn Conyers and I transform average events into epic experiences as a professional event MC, as well as a compelling keynote speaker. I take pride in making sure that I show women in business how to use their voice to turn conversations into clients and, more importantly, contracts. When I'm not speaking to women in business, you can catch me on the stage activating attendees from start to finish as a speaker and as an MC. And one of the unique ways that I show up, because I believe that in order for you to grow and to expand, to scale your business as a speaker, as an MC, as a coach, whatever you do, fill in the blank, that you have to be able to turn conversations into clients. More importantly, I believe that how you show up visibly and verbally matter. And a lot of us are not putting a lot of time and attention into our verbal and our vocal presence. So we'll show up to the event, we'll show up to the conference, we'll go to networking events, and we look fabulous. But when someone says, "What do you do?" or "Tell me about your business," that is where we struggle. So my job, my duty, part of my responsibility is to make sure that you understand how much in-person influence can be a game changer for you as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a speaker. Let me tell you why. So if you have been following me at all, you would know that part of how I show up is fabulous, right? Let's be clear, fabulous. However, I speak in sneaks. Now, my last live I did about 2 weeks ago, I shared the story about why I speak in sneakers. So when you catch me, I always say, I like my Jordans high and I like my Dunks low. So Nikes, Pumas, I mean, any brand that you can think of, I have probably stepped on stage wearing sneakers, so much so that it's become a part of my brand. When I show up to speak or to host an event, there are always people looking to see what I'm wearing on my feet, right? And I'm gonna show you what I'm wearing today, right? These are called 270s. This is what I'm wearing right now on my feet. This is what I'm wearing right now because I'm a sneaker girl, right? I'm a sneaker lover. I try not to say that I am a sneakerhead because sneakerheads be waiting in lines. They be like knowing new releases. I got a sneaker guy. I call people, right? Like, listen, I need X, Y, and Z. But that's part of my brand. I show up, as you can see, I'm full of energy, I'm full of engagement, I'm full of excitement. And I believe right now more than ever that there's something happening. There is a shift taking place. I believe that as a business owner, well, actually, let me know who you are in the comments. Are you a business owner? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a speaker? Are you both? If you're both, then type both in the comments. If you're a speaker or you identify as an entrepreneur, I would love to know where you are. And I want to explain this. Hey, Carmen, how are you? Good to see you. We got a couple people in the building. We got the boldness coach. We got the passion strategist. I think I saw Takia Ross from Assessmatize. We have a few people. So I'm loving all the love that you're joining me for this live. So butterflies hugs. What's your real name? I feel like we know each other. We've been talking. Okay. Got a lot of boths, right? Here is what I am seeing right now in the landscape because I pay attention, y'all. I pay attention to what is going on. Right now, I feel like there is a lot of pressure on speakers and entrepreneurs to have a vast online presence. I also believe that between AI and the changing of the algorithms, it is causing us anxiety. So we want to grow, but we're not sure what time should I post? What platform should I post? Okay, I know I need to do my online presence, but making video and content seems overwhelming or draining, right? Is that you? Do you feel that way? I feel like every time I try to get better, there's a new update about AI and I got something else to learn, right? I fully support the online visibility of why we need to be there. But I do believe that many people, especially business owners and speakers, are overlooking the power of in-person presence. Now, me having the opportunity to work with and be hired by Footlocker is very interesting to me because this is something that I've always wanted to do. I didn't know if I was working with Nike, Puma, something. Footlocker, we just happened to work that out. However, I was very intentional about that. But in my brain, I thought that I was going to have to slip into somebody's DMs. I was going to have to message somebody. I was going to have to email somebody. And sometimes business is happening that way. Here's what you should know. It takes somebody anywhere from 7 to 18 times to know you, like you, buy from you, trust you online. You can meet Carmen, Quinn, Leon, Tamika Harris one time and want to do business. Why do I share that with you? I share that with you because a lot of us are showing up, but we're not sticking out. And I hear this cliche all the time where showing up is half the battle. Well, half the battle is 50%. Showing up is a necessity to be in business. You have to show up. I think the other part that we're forgetting with showing up is we have to use our voice and be able to verbalize our value and articulate our awesomeness to do business. And sometimes we're so inundated and overwhelmed with online that we forget that you can show up, shake hands, kiss babies, and do deals in person. And we forget that. So what I want you to know is I want you to be very intentional about how you're showing up in 2025 and beyond. What do I mean by that? I mean that me showing up at a conference in San Diego led me to getting hired by someone to create content for Footlocker, which means for you is how are you showing up? Have you evaluated your energy? Are you showing up with a smile? Are you in a corner by yourself? Are you on your phone? Are you fully present? Because at the end of the day, deals are happening not necessarily on Zoom calls. They're happening in hallways. They're happening in bathrooms. They're happening at conferences in between sessions. And a lot of us are trying to figure out how to grow and how to scale. And all of our effort and all of our energy is online, which is not a bad thing. However, I really want you to be considerate and mindful of how you're showing up in person. And the first part of that, honestly, is from my experience, it worked well for me, is show up looking like a snack. Many of us are showing up and we're blending in. Many of us, I remember I was talking to a friend of mine and she was on her way to a conference, Amy, right? And she was just like, yeah, I got to go shopping. I'm going to this conference. And I was like, girl, what you going shopping for? I already know what you're going to wear because I see it in all your pictures. I said, you don't need another pair of black pants. You got about 12 pairs of black pants in your closet. And she was like, oh, she felt so shocked and seen. I'm like, yes, you are wearing the same thing over and over again. So part of you growing your business and growing your brand, selling more books, getting more speaking engagements, getting more clients and customers is being intentional about how you show up, putting effort and energy into your visual appearance, right? So I'm not saying that you go out and buy a brand new wardrobe. You can, right? But it's just like, is it a pop of color? Now, for all of you introverts, because I always hear all the time, Quinn, that's just not my thing. I don't really like talking to people. Well, get a conversation piece. What is a conversation piece? Maybe it's a brooch. Maybe it's a necklace. I remember this woman meeting her and she had a necklace and it had a school bus on it. And basically she was a contractor for school buses. So people will always ask her about her school bus, right? So at this point in time, it's about you showing up and having in-person influence. And we talk about influence in regards to followers and in regards to how many people are on our email list, forgetting that when you show up, you have influence in person. It's interesting now because everything has shifted online. Like, Before, when you were dating, it was like you had to go out, you had to meet people, whether it was church, the movies, at the mall, on your way to work, whatever. Now it's like you can swipe left, swipe right, but there's nothing more powerful than meeting someone and feeling their energy. It's the same thing with business. So a lot of times I believe, hey, Devin, we got Devin in the building, a fellow MC. James Brown, thank you so much for joining from the exchange zone. I love it that we are not putting the amount of effort and energy into our in-person influence. So that was one of the reasons why I caught and captured the attention of the marketing manager who hires content creators for the different retail outlets. So I'm sharing this with you because I'm seeing it. I'm thinking about the opportunities that I've had as a business owner, as a speaker. Like, people are not hiring me because I am shooting in their DMs. That is a part of things. But it's like when they see me in person, I always get 1 or 2 speaking engagements, right? I showed up as myself. I was in my business attire. I had my sneakers on, and she was like, I need to talk to you, right? So I'm sharing that with you because we're not putting the energy there. Number 2 is your verbal, okay? How am I maximizing in-person influence? But more importantly, how can you maximize your in-person influence? One of the major things that we have to do is show up. That's half the battle. Really, it's not. It's a requirement, right? The second part of that is you being visible. They see you, foundational. The next part is you being verbal. If I fumbled the ball, I would have fumbled the bag with that marketing manager, right? When she began to have conversation with me, when she began to ask me questions about what I do, I was able to verbalize my value. I was able to articulate who I was, what I do, why I speak in sneaks, and why I was at that conference, which led to a future conversation. Why do you need to know that? You need to know that and understand that because many of you are not giving in-person opportunities a chance. You're showing up at networking events, you're in the corner, you're on your phone, you don't bring any business cards, or worse, when someone asks you what it is that you do, you're giving them your title. I'm a speaker. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a content creator. I'm an MC. I'm a business owner. And people don't necessarily want your title. They want your transformation. So how do you become valuable as a speaker? How do you become valuable as an MC? How do you become valuable as a business owner? You become valuable by making sure that you are merging and marrying your visible plus your verbal influence, right? Offline. So I could do a whole thing, and you might see me doing some more things. I believe that having an online presence is a nice to have. There, I said it. I believe if you want to attract and not turn off customers and clients, that your in-person offline presence has to be top tier. And many of you are frustrated. You are hiring coaches. You are joining another program, and you have not maximized your in-person presence, meaning you put no thought and attention into what you wear and how you show up. You have the same boring and basic elevator pitch since before COVID, and you are not following up because you don't understand that people don't meet you want to do business. It all starts with a conversation. Hey, Aunt Donna, we got Aunt Donna here in the building. That's my aunt, y'all. She's here on Facebook. So when I announced that I was hired to create content for Footlocker, my inbox started blowing up, and people were asking me so many different questions about, did I reach out to them online? Did I email them? How did I get it? And I sat back for a second, Leon, and I looked at what really happened. But overall, what has been the foundation of my success? What has been, because first of all, let me be clear, it has taken me 10 years to become an overnight success, right? Y'all seeing my breakthrough. There's been a process, okay? Hey, Chandrika, how you doing, girl? Thank you so much, okay? And I had to think about it. I was like, what has been the through line? So if you are successful or you're getting clients and customers, you got to analyze that. You got to look at that at dollars. You got to look at the data so you can repeat it, right? I love a good repeat revenue. And I realized that, yes, I'm amazing. Yes, you're amazing. But what has gotten me opportunity is I knew how to position myself. I knew how to have conversation that converted. I knew how to talk to people in a way that led to an opportunity. And I feel like that's what's missing. We are communicating with potential clients, but we're not converting. We're showing up, but we're not shaking hands. We are underestimating how much our voice needs to be a strategy within our business. And that's why I'm doing this live. I'm doing this live because I feel like we are about to stress ourselves out with learning more AI, learning more algorithms, which you can. But let me tell y'all something. See, this is how I know I'm starting to clap. You know, when people start to clap, they get serious. So let me stop. Let me put my hands down. Okay. Yes to online, but please believe, do not sleep on offline. So my question, my challenge, my charge to you is, I think you need to do an in-person influence audit. Ask yourself, when I'm showing up at events live, first of all, are you going to events? Okay. Like, please don't be a computer champion, meaning that you are only doing things behind your phone or behind a keyboard on your laptop. Are you even showing up in person? Are you showing up at conferences? Are you going to networking events? Are you going to summits? Is there somewhere where you are exchanging energy with people who can do business with you? So that's the first thing. Am I showing up? Am I improving on my professional development? I wish I could tell you that what I've learned or what I've experienced has been through Google University or YouTube College. It is not. Part of why I feel like in this season of my life, I am growing and I'm expanding is because I'm an investor. I'm an investor of Quinn Conyers. What does that mean? I'm going to workshops. I'm hiring coaches. I am doing certain things that require me to level up as a businesswoman. And I believe that a lot of us are not. We are trying to read things and trying to watch YouTube videos and put it together. And you can accelerate your success by going to a conference. Number one, you can learn. Number two, you can network, you can exchange energy, you can get customers, you can get clients, right? So that's the first thing. Are you outside? Because you should be outside at this point, right? You should literally be outside, right? So I'm just curious. I'm going to do a quick check real quick. Are you outside when it comes to your business? Now, I'm not saying you're going to the happy hours. You can, but I'm talking about, are you going to conferences? Are you going to workshops? Are you going to summits? Two types of events. You should be going to events where you can learn. I'm talking about you be the student. The other types of events you should be going where your target client is already gathered. So if your target client are roofers, what are the roofing conferences that you're going to? If your target client is plumbers, what are the plumbing organizations or associations or events that you're going to, right? So that's my question to you. Are you outside as a business owner, as a speaker? Put outside in the comments, right? If you're not outside and you're still inside, we're not going to judge you. But I want to know. Put inside in the comments. And thank you to a few people who have joined. We got Stephanie McNeil in the building. So excited that you are here. We got Dawn as well. We got Tracy. Yes, Just Left We Bank made epic contacts and prospects. Yes. Absolutely. I was there too. We had a good time, didn't we, girl? We had a real good time, right? Because you outside, right? So we need to redefine what that is. You know, the young kids be outside having fun. We need to be outside making deals, having conversations. Chandrika, I need you to get outside, sis, right? Because there's somebody out there who desperately need what you have to offer, and they might watch a million YouTube videos and watch your journey on Facebook or Instagram. They can meet you one time and be like, okay, this is the girl I want to do my makeup, right? So that's the first thing, is committing to going outside. I don't care if it's going to 1 or 2 conferences a year. Go out. Wait a minute. Hold on. You're not going to make me laugh. Okay. Queen Mother Soul says, I'm on the porch and backyard. I'm not completely outside. You know what? I'll take it. Okay. We got to start somewhere, right? So Dawn says, I need to go outside. Dawn, yes, you do. Okay. You need to go outside. Okay. Attending an HBCU event tomorrow. So that's the first thing. So commit to going outside so people can see you. They can experience you. You can do all the things. The second thing is you need to be intentional about how you show up. Put some intentionality in there. Matter of fact, if one thing you got to do, if it's trading a black blazer for a red blazer, a yellow blazer, a pink blazer, if it's between you wearing lip gloss and some colored things on your lips, like, be visibly attractive. And I'm not just talking about features because we can't change the way we look, right? Y'all all look good. Y'all cute. Y'all are amazing. I'm talking about how you're showing up. Again, part of how I show up is in sneakers, right? Like I just wear different sneakers. That's part of what I do. And then lastly is working on your verbal. What do I mean by working on your verbal? Making sure that you can articulate who you are and what you do in a way that's clear, concise, and compelling. Because a marketing manager from Footlocker approached me. What if your ideal client approaches you? Do you know what to say to take that conversation and make that person a client? Okay. So, one of the ways that you do that is you really work on your language, right? What are you saying and what are you doing? So, I do have a luxury language list. I think that every speaker, every entrepreneur, every MC needs to be intentional about positioning themselves for opportunity. And I believe that part of that starts with language. So, if you want to learn what types of words that you should be using to amplify your in-person influence, just send me a message on link, whatever platform you're on, if it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, and say list, and I'll give you my complimentary, no charge at all, luxury language list. So at least when you're showing up in person, you have some words that are wealthy that you can use to describe who you are and what you do. Because I am a firm believer of using luxury language. Okay, so we connected in person at the We Thrive alumni. Yes, great to take that connection offline in person. And here's the thing, right? Meeting somebody online, the meeting somebody in person, it actually further solidifies their relationship and the engagement. So I'm just grateful that God is opening up so many doors for me. And I always said that as the doors continue to open for me, I promise to bring people along with me. So, what I'm learning in this phase of my life, in this phase of my business, is that we got to show up, y'all. Like, it's not even a nice to have. Like, you have to show up. And more importantly, you have to be very intentional about how you're showing up visibly and verbally. So, I'm not going to hold you. Again, I appreciate you joining this live. If you are capturing this on replay, I want you to type replay rockstar in the comments. That way I know that you are still rocking with me, even if you weren't able to join me live. And if you want that list, my luxury language list, if you're on Instagram, you can absolutely go to the links in my bio and download it. But if you're on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, just shoot me a message and I'll send you the list. So as you continue to grow, as you continue to prosper in business, just remember, do not overlook or underestimate the power of you showing up in person. Your in-person influence can absolutely positively lead to you increasing your income. Until next time, it's been my pleasure and my honor to share some brief time with you right here on social media. And I hope to see you in person real soon. Have a great one.